Hi, Jen. Hello.
Hi.
Sorry we're late. We were busy getting ready to be like real big assholes for you guys today.
Yeah, we were working ourselves up to a frenzy.
Yeah, we're practicing. We were practicing.
We got the chains and the whips out, and we were getting ourselves going.
No, Jen. I told you that's Saturday.
Oh shit!
No,
Sorry.
shit. No.
Sorry.
This is the PG screen. I mean, we do curse and everything, but we're actually supposed to wear clothes and everything. But
I'm
they
dressed.
don't know.
I'm dressed.
Okay, that's cool. All right, I'm partially dressed. So this is it. No, it is. Well, thank you everyone for being here. Hopefully, would you let us know that our sound is okay so I can make adjustments before we carry on, which I just learned how to do because Jen's like giving me secrets. It's really cool. You know. I was like, "What do you mean, Nikki? Of course, I'm being an asshole, a half-dressed asshole. That's what this stream is going to be about today." Now, I'm going to read. Thank you, Sincere. He says we're loud and clear, so we don't need an adjustment. So, Jen, you know the drill. You've seen a few of these. I'm going to read the thread from the Reddit, the Am I the Asshole, and then everybody's going to decide with us. You know, we make some commentary about our opinions, and I picked some ones you can have some good opinions about. I tried to get the ones. Let me just tell you this. All the ones I picked got deleted. I had to go look for the bottom where they copy it, so the tops aren't on it anymore. I can't even read the titles to them. So they must be a little hot. You know, people were lighting up the chat about it, and the thread.
And you said this was going to be clean.
Well, it's clean. I never said it wasn't going to be opinionated because there's nowhere I go that doesn't happen. But definitely, it should be funny and opinionated, a little loud. You can curse, you can say whatever you want. I'm not monetized, and I don't, you know.
You're like me. You're not monetized, and you probably never will be.
No, have you heard my mouth? There's no way they're going to pay.
Oh, save.
It's like, no way. There's no way. I will never. I will be monetized for like 30 seconds.
There will be poop jokes. There will be ducks having sex jokes.
Yeah, you know, we were talking about like you make mistakes on StreamYards. You know, that's one of the ones I made. Like you should see the things I have to cut out. It's and I can't cut it out because I don't want to lose the chat because I love you all in the chat. I will actually let them take down my video before I let them silence you. I'm just pro chat. I'm pro chat all the way. All right. This one. The title was something like, should I be mad because he wants to mess with a certain kind of woman? All right. Make of that what you will, people. But all right. So let me see if I can read through this. And I apologize. This is one of those ones that they don't use punctuation, so I have to add it as I go.
These people don't know how to breathe. Those people. Those people with extra large lungs and really tiny brains.
Yeah, or fingers that just don't know where the buttons are for punctuation for sure. It's like, okay, so this person says, on my mobile, sorry. Long story short, me and my ex are together for almost 4 years, on and off because of distance and stuff. And we broke up recently for good. We still remain close, and I came to stay. Oh, wait, I read this one. Oh, sorry, Jen. I picked the wrong one.
You read this one before.
I did just last week. I thought it was a different one. Deja vu. You remember the man who went with the prostitute instead of his friend with benefits after they made the agreement? Yeah, that one, people. Yeah, we know he's an asshole.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, he was definitely an asshole because, you know, an agreement's an agreement. Yeah, an agreement's an agreement, people. Like, you know, people are entitled to safe sex.
Yes.
All right. Here's one. It's a little longer. The title of this was something like, am I the asshole for rubbing my doctorate in my sister's face? I'm like, okay.
Oh, you said doctorate. Jeez, I thought you said something else for a second.
I could have, but it's not
Saturday.
It's not Saturday. I could have. I've been known to say that word repeatedly, often. As a matter of fact, just so y'all know, after Saturday's stream, I have not received not one single requested picture, not even a cartoon. They all think I'm a prude. Yes, I'm terrifying.
But they send them to other people in the chat. Why?
I don't know. They send them to everybody, but they don't send them to me. I must be terrifying as a bear. I thought I was a friendly bear, but apparently people are afraid to send me things. But I don't know. I mean, I tried. But anyway, so we might be pictureless on Saturday. We'll see. It's only Wednesday. We'll see.
How are we going to rate?
That's the real deal. We'll have to have a group meeting on that one. I don't know.
There's a website that does it, so maybe we can steal them.
Oh, wow, that's a good idea. So
don't ask me how I know there's a website that does it.
Nope, Jen, because that might be TMI. I don't know. That might be a whole stream in itself.
It's one of those things where people send you a link on Twitter, and you know how you shouldn't click on links that people send you on Twitter? No. I did.
And then you remembered it forever. You remembered it forever.
Because you can't forget something like that.
All right, so when you send me the link, you say, here is the link you shouldn't have clicked because you're going to remember it forever, and then I'll know what you're talking about. Okay, so...
I had that happen to me years ago with the Goatsy one, so yeah.
I just learned about the Goatsy one. I'm so, maybe this is why I don't get pics, because I admit to being that naive that I never saw that picture till last week or the week before when it came up on one of my streams. And I actually had to get the link from a friend. I had to Google.
That's not a link I would be asking for, to be honest.
Well, this friend was pretty cool about it because they know I'm a little naive about this and they're trying to educate me.
I haven't seen Two Girls, One Cup because I learnt my lesson from Goatsy.
Hey, well, I just learned about that one too. So there you go. Yes, people, I am sheltered. I guess I've lived a sheltered life, but I always say yay porn. I'm not that sheltered. I'm a free person. I believe in sex and liberation and speaking your mind.
And you know what's going to happen now, Claire? The chat's going to be sending you links to weird things.
Yeah, you would think, but no, I don't think so. They're sheltered. They're protecting me. I don't know. I don't get this stuff.
They think you're innocent, Claire. That's what it is. We know better.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure some of my real friends would talk to you about that innocent shit. I don't know, but I gotta read this, or they're gonna.
I've talked to you off stream. You're not innocent.
Yeah, I'm not innocent. I'm not innocent. No, I don't claim to be either. I don't know where they got that impression. It's the avatar, but that avatar ain't innocent, people.
So
You seen what that avatar does?
It's what happens when you have avatars without nipples. That's what it is.
Yeah, but it had never mind. Anyway, okay. All right, Jen, stop. I'm reading this, goddammit. I'm reading this. Okay. Okay, here we go. And in case you forgot, because we got off track, it's about, am I the asshole for throwing my doctorate in my sister's face? Okay. For clarification, I'm from the UK, so I think degrees work a bit differently here. I am a 26-year-old female, and I just finished my PhD in clinical psychology, and I am about to start practicing. I'm taking a bit time off since I've been in school literally for 20 years at this point. My sister is 31 and has a bachelor's degree in maths. Just saying that because it's relevant to the story. And she's one of those people who can never be wrong. I went to the same schools as her and only left her shadow when I went to university. She's happy that I got my PhD, but regularly mentions she could get one if she wanted. And the fact that I'm now more qualified and experienced in something really bothers her. She's a lovely person, as long as she's better than you. Ooh, the snark.
Ooh, that's snarky.
So we were talking about psychology over a family dinner, her and myself and our parents and her boyfriend. And she mentioned a theory that's been outdated for at least 10 years in support of her view on child psychology. It wasn't even up for debate. She was just wrong and trying to pretend she wasn't. I pointed out that the theory has been disproven and mentioned doing my own dissertations on the subject. She laughed and said that doing a dissertation doesn't make you an expert. And I replied with, I'm the only one here with a doctorate. I'm the closest thing to an expert in the room.
Oh, fuck. That's me. I would have fucking said that.
The snark is real. I don't care.
I like this. I like her. Can we have her on?
I don't know who she is, but she might be the asshole here. But I love her. I love her.
I love her. Yeah.
Yeah.
If this is you, if you've posted this and you ever see this,
Please
contact Claire because we'd love to talk to you.
My DMs are open. Everything's on the back of my YouTube channel, my email, my Instagram, my Twitter. Contact me, boo. Like we could do something here.
Yeah,
she got super
good.
She got super pissed and said that she's been thinking about getting one herself. I was pretty annoyed, so just said, then apply for it, but stop acting like we're equally qualified.
Oh,
it was probably harsh, really, but I've had years of her belittling my work and comparing it to her math degree and now her job in accounting. Am I the asshole in this situation?
This is a tricky one though, isn't it? Because I'm not sure her sister didn't deserve all that snark.
I think sister definitely deserved all that snark.
I think she deserved it. So does that make you an asshole for doing it? Because I would have done exactly what she did.
Yeah, I think so too. At least it was a family dinner and not out in public. Like I can't even chastise her for not saying it in a better way because they're in the home environment they grew up in, and the sisters probably snarked at each other all the time.
I think I would have gone harder than she did.
Yeah. Older sister sounds a bit bitchy to me. And,
yeah. I mean, like, what the hell? It's like, you're in my qualification and you're pretending like you know better than I do.
Yeah, like if you wanted to pretend
with that.
Right. If she wanted to pretend like she knew all that and she was all that in a bag of chips or a pickle on the side, she should have picked something in accounting and math where her degree was. Don't go after the psychology degree. She got a doctorate, for Christ's sake. And yes,
and it's what her dissertation was. For fuck's sake, she knows what she's talking about.
And what's that? Like, doing a dissertation doesn't make you an expert. Well, you had to do the research. It makes me more of an expert than you that doesn't know what the hell you're talking about using a 10-year-old debunked study on child psychology, just to sound smart, I think I would have been really brutal.
They're from England. It sounds like his sister is, that actually sounds very normal for a lot of Brits, and especially on lots of topics where they think, something from 10 years ago is actually relevant now if it's been debunked.
I think I would have been brutal. I'm sure you thought that sounded smart when you.
Sorry to all the British people in the chat, but you guys suck when it comes to shit like this.
Oh, God. No, actually, well, I can't even agree with you. I cannot let that go, Jen. I can't agree with you that some of my most intelligent friends are British and they prove me wrong all the time.
I agree, but I have also met so many British people who that thing that flat earthers do where they bring out some sort of textbook from their grade school textbook and pretend that that's got more information in it than what you do from having done a degree. They think a high school education qualifies them to be an expert on a freaking subject. I have more British people that do that than from anywhere else in the world.
Mm-hmm. I'd have to answer the chat on something. I am not from New York, Ted. I'm close, though. Everyone knows I'm from Jersey, but I have a strange accent and use weird words because of what would you call it, European influence or international influence for years and years and years. Family, friends, whatever. I pick up a lot of strange sayings and pronunciations. Yes, student, yay porn. But I'm sorry, Jen. Yeah, let's get. Do you think that? All right, I think I know what you're going to say. But who do you think the asshole is in this situation?
She was a bit arsehole for doing it, but it's exactly what I would have done. But her sister's being an ass as well. I think there was plenty of asshole to go around.
No, there was. I think they're both assholes only because I always side on the. I'm going to be reasonable here. I love her snark. I really think the big sister deserved a smackdown. I really do. I just think she would have played a little bit better if she did it a little smarter and a little less cutting. Like really, But then again, it wouldn't have been as much fun. So I can't really blame her.
Exactly. and I mean, I'm all for the snark. I think there are times when they deserve snark, and even family.
Mhm. Yeah, I think I don't know. So chat, we're gonna ask you on this one. I think Jen and I agree that the older sister is the asshole in this one, for
Oh
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So number one, if you think the OP, the original poster, is the asshole, and that would be the doctorate with the vicious little snarky smackdown on the older sister, or if you think the bitch of an older sister, no other way to put it,
Yeah, she's
is
bad.
is the asshole. That's number two, because damn, she just has to be right? Like, I don't know why she's had to do that
Yeah, I
like
mean,
that.
you've got to
It's like,
take
oh
the
yeah.
history of this there, that the elder sister, I've got a maths degree, I'm better than you. That see, I see this. I mean, I'm STEM. I come from a maths and computer science background. And I think that's assholey to think that because you're in the middle of STEM, you're better than somebody who's done a psychology degree or a social sciences degree or something. That they've put the time in, they're qualified. Fucking
Right.
like tread on their fucking ground.
Right. That's what I think too. And I am the older sister in my family, and I would never
Baby.
do that. Are you the baby? You're the smart
I
baby, and I'm the
am.
older sister. And I can be a bitch, but I own it. But I would never do that about education and all. I think anybody getting any kind of degree or putting themselves out in self-learning or continuing to learn in any subject deserves credit. You just don't attack it like that, just to be right. It's just ridiculous. So that would be number two if you think, she was the asshole. Number three, if you think they're both the asshole. And then I don't think there's no asshole, because there was too much snark in there.
And
Like,
we've only
somebody's
got
an
one
asshole.
vote. Vote, people. Vote.
Yeah. Well, they didn't, because I didn't get to number four. They always wait for me to
Oh, you
say
haven't
yay
got enough
porn.
for. Okay.
Number four, if you just think it's yay porn, always. But I'm always 2 and 4. I'm always for
Yeah.
yay. Not that I
Two and
watch.
four.
Yep.
2 and
That's
4.
it.
Yeah, 2 and 4
Yep.
works for me.
So welcome to everyone who's just coming in. I hope, let's see if I can find another really nice one here for you, Jen. That was fun. Look, it's porn. Oh, just chat. It's just porn for you. Jersey Jojo. Like, you guys won't even I'm gonna have to just start showing porn.
They're only
think.
here
I
for the
don't know.
porn.
I don't know.
What,
And
we need more beaver porn.
beaver porn. Oh my God.
Wasn't that what we had? No, it was otter, wasn't it? Otter.
That's right. It was the otter.
Although it sounds better if you say beaver porn.
Does it, Jen? Does it really? Does it really, Jen? Oh, I beg to differ. I tell you, I'm not going to be restrictive on the porn. I can't keep it to just that. Pickle porn, maybe Jersey Chat. I don't know.
So if you've got some, send Claire some beaver porn.
Whatever. Yeah, I guess whatever you have, send it. Whatever you come up with. We're always looking to add content.
If you Google search beaver porn, you will probably not find furry little animals.
No, I kind of got that inkling, Jen. I did. I am naive, but I'm not under a rock.
Not that naive.
I might be a little naive, but definitely not under a rock.
You can't make jokes about beaver porn without thinking of Airplane and the old line of nice beaver, and she goes, "Yeah, I recently had it stuffed."
Yep. I remember that, actually. That is a good one. But I tell you, I don't Google about the porn anymore, especially not on stream, because of what happened with the turtle and the carrot. It was not good. So I don't do that anymore. And I got to look at my Google history, and it was horrific. It was
yeah. With the noises that turtles make when they have sex, you wonder why they have it, because it
was all the face. I don't know. Did you see the face on that turtle though? Like, I just want to capture that turtle face. Maybe that'll be my avatar for next week. I don't know. That turtle face, like that turtle was having the time of his life. I don't even know if he was close to the other turtle, but that turtle was ecstatic. Like, the turtle face was just, it was brilliant. I'll have to blow it up. Maybe it'll be the backdrop for next week. I don't know.
Do you reckon McConnell makes the same noise when he's having sex?
I don't know.
He's definitely a turtle.
Oh my God. Yeah, but I can't even imagine him. Yeah. Oh, I don't. Why'd you put that picture in my head? I thought we were friends. That's awful. That's an awful thing to do, Jen.
The problem is, now I've made that joke, I want to make the cartoon of it.
I don't know, chat. Somebody put something else in my head because that was just cruel what she just did to me. That's just absolutely cruel. Oh, that is Jen. I'm gonna get you for that one. I go. I
Hopefully
don't
you got a
know.
good one for it.
I have a good one for you now. I'm going to make you talk about a real social issue here.
Okay.
Which it's about am I the asshole for acting upset to my boyfriend for public displays of affection? Okay. So my boyfriend was visiting my town this weekend and we spent Sunday afternoon walking and hiking. The issue we're arguing about happened when we sat on a bench for a bit and he was asking for a kiss and cuddling or hugging, but I refused. I also pushed his hand, which was maybe unnecessary in retrospect. However, in my defense, he was making me anxious. I don't want any kind of PDA because, one, as I mentioned, I forgot the first line. They are a gay couple, 18 and 20, both male. Sorry for pointing out our sexuality, but it's relevant here. That's his first sentence, which I cut off. Sorry. As mentioned, we're both gay. And two, I'm anxious about attracting attention as it is. My boyfriend called me paranoid because only a few people walked by and the view was covered by trees, but that's enough to set off alarms for me. Also, I'm additionally angry since he had once tried to kiss me at a train station and many more people were around. And though I forgave him at the time, since I admit it was pretty early in our relationship, I hadn't realized we had such different approaches to PDA. But because we've since talked about it, he should respect my views at this point, if you ask me. He tells me hiking trails and train stations are not the same situation. He thinks I don't work on my anxiety enough. And I think in this case, anxiety is more like common sense, in my humble opinion. Am I really such an asshole to my boyfriend because of this boundary? It doesn't mean I hate him. I just want to be safe. And he implies that this means I'm ashamed. We don't even live in a super safe country for LGBT people, even though it's still the EU. Though you could say no country is really safe. So that's a big issue there because the communication. I don't have an issue that much with the PDA, but the lack of communication is troubling. Yeah.
Yeah, that the relationship has that lack of communication would be my first flag up that, maybe maybe you two just aren't compatible on that level.
Yeah, if they've discussed it, it seems like, boyfriend is not being respectful of their opinion on the subject and is pushing it and kind of disregarding it.
It's also one of those difficult ones because it doesn't actually say there what country they're from. And when I was reading it, I was of the opinion of like his boyfriend was like, in most of the Western country, most of these Western countries, well, depending on what state you're in, obviously, in certain countries and what area you actually come from, within them, gay relationships are fairly safe. You're probably not going to get beaten up if you show affection and things like that. So I was like, maybe if the boyfriend thinks it's a safe area, then maybe it isn't unsafe. But if you don't know actually which country they're in, I mean, if they were in Hungary or something like that, where they've actually got laws against people being gay, then don't show you.
That's what I was going to say.
Get dead.
The EU is so big, and it's not like this is Denmark or England or it's just not like any of the freer countries. It's probably like Poland or, like you said, Hungary,
Poland,
or the
Hungary,
Czech
one
Republic,
of those ones. One of those ones that actually has laws that ban gay relationships.
Right.
So if you're in that case.
And PDA in itself is not exactly it's not a gay issue alone. I've been in relationships myself where one partner is very open and the other one just doesn't like all the gushy stuff out in public, and
I get that. I mean, I'm thinking of my position on this because I mean I've always I like cuddles. Cuddles are awesome, but I would probably not be apart. Big amounts of smooching. I'm uncomfortable with other people doing huge amounts of kissing and that in public because
Oh,
I think it's a personal thing. You know, if I'm sitting on a train and you're across from me throwing your tongue down your boyfriend's throat or something like that,
that's a
I'm
little
going to be
gross.
uncomfortable about that.
It's a
Yeah.
it's a
But,
bit gross. It's like if I
yeah.
wanted to watch porn people, I would like pull up my little laptop or something. Like I don't want to see it across the hall from me. But I get what you're
Yeah,
saying. Like
exactly.
I like a hug. I like my hand held, even a little kiss here and there, open the door, like all that PDA, where you're a couple. That's fine.
Yeah.
The actual making out in public to see,
Yeah,
watch us
when you
get
take
down.
it from signs of affection to making out, that's where I think the boundary's been crossed. But
Yeah.
if you're just holding hands, if you're even cuddling up when you're on a train or something like that, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think
Yeah,
that's a problem. Head on your
no,
boyfriend's shoulder. What's wrong with that?
exactly. I've
People should be
slept on trains like that. It's comfortable. That's how, they
yeah,
put their arm around you, put your
exactly.
head there. It's good.
And it's
That
nice to be close to the person you're in love with. So
it,
I don't see a problem with that. And
mm,
that side of it, we shouldn't have issues in our society of seeing gay couples or whatever.
no,
Any variance, so it
it's
should be fine by us. We shouldn't have our blinkers on and go,
right because when it
eh,
comes down to it, it's not our business, is it?
fucking business. Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna
that's
say that.
right.
It's
And
not our
I
fucking
think we
business.
should be
Yeah,
happy when we see two people in love, regardless of the gender of the
exactly.
people in it. Just be
Exactly.
happy that they are. Now, I totally get feeling uncomfortable if it's gone from showing affection to we're almost having sex in front of you, because I'm not a
That's
voyeur. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
that shouldn't be anyway. And if I do want to be
Yeah.
a voyeur, I want to be a voyeur privately, like, whatever.
Yeah, in my
I
own
don't,
room where I can be
yeah,
naked if I want to.
exactly. Just Chat says her husband doesn't like PDA at all, but it doesn't bother her. And I'm sure they've talked about it. And so they have an agreement
Yeah.
amongst themselves on how they'll function in public, which is my biggest issue with this AITA, because of the lack of respect for the concern of the other party. It's like it's being disregarded. It's a big red flag for furthering the relationship or what else could be going on, that they're not
Yeah.
listening. Because not only did he say it makes him anxious, and then the other one is downplaying the fact that they have anxiety at all. Like, you don't work on it enough. Like, this shouldn't be an issue. Like, you got to take care of that. Like, that's just, that's a little bit of
If you're
gaslighting.
uncomfortable with the other person's level of affection, then and that's something that's causing a problem for you in the relationship, that's a time to talk about what you both want out of the relationship.
True.
Because there might be a level here that you could still be in love, but you might not be able to take it from that level to the next level in the relationship if there's this level of public intimacy difference that you cannot overcome as a couple. And it's a case of you need to talk. You need to talk. Yeah, relationships only work if you are communicating.
Yeah, because exactly, communication. Like every single time I do an AITA, I usually have an issue about something about a boundary or communication. Like something's going wrong in the actual relation dynamic between the parties. But another part to look at here is that maybe the person who wants to express the PDA is feeling like the other one doesn't want to acknowledge the relationship at all. Like it doesn't really say whether hand holding and everything is okay. Like that's my thing, is like, as long as they'll hold my hand and acknowledge that we're a couple in public, then I'm fine with like the level of PDA. But if somebody didn't even want to hold my hand, while we're walking down the street or put an arm around me, I would start thinking maybe they were, keeping their options open for the next best thing to walk around the corner,
Yeah. Well, that
because
comes down to that thing of, I mean, when they said about hitting their hand away and, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have done that bit, because there's also, I mean, that's depending. If you're living in a country where being in a gay relationship might mean you're going to get dead, then I totally get the bit the hand away, because, hey, look, this is actually dangerous.
Right.
If you're not, and it's your problem that you've got, if you've got anxieties, and this is not being down on anxieties, because I get anxiety sometimes too.
Yeah, me too.
But there has to be a point where if you're actually comfortable in a relationship with somebody, that some physical contact should be happening at points.
Yeah,
or else Or else there is
Acknowledging.
something subconsciously going on that's saying, I don't want to acknowledge publicly that I have this relationship.
That's exactly, because that's
Yeah.
the issue I was thinking of. Like, is there more going on here? Does he feel like he's not being acknowledged as a couple? Like, why is he pressing on him about the anxiety and about this issue if they've already talked about it? I think the original poster may not have given us all of the pertinent information. I think the country really would have helped clarify that, because if they had said like it was from Denmark, I would have said bullshit. I would have raised my hand and said, I call bullshit, dude. Like, you just don't want to
exactly. At
acknowledge
that
him.
point, if you're a country like Denmark or Sweden or somewhere like that, and you're saying that, then you're not really committed to this relationship.
Yeah, this is
that
true.
would be my. If I was the other person, I'd be going, no, you're not really committed to this
And
relationship.
I agree. You could always run up into somebody who has an issue with it, because there are assholes everywhere. It doesn't even matter, like a free country like Denmark. You still could, but maybe it wouldn't be as much of a threat. Like a.
You also
like
don't know the background of the person who's got the anxiety. They may have been in a relationship in the past where a public display of affection actually caused them to get beaten up. In which case, I would totally. But that then comes down. You haven't explained that to your current partner.
Right. And if he had given us that information, it would be a whole different story. I'd be like all over.
My opinion in here is the person who wrote it's a bit of an asshole because they haven't given anybody the right information to actually decide whether they're an asshole or not.
Yeah, they just want somebody on their side. Yeah. When they do that, they want us all to think the other person's the asshole. Like, they're trying to, like, they're stacking the cards against them by not giving us the full picture.
So I think they're a bit of an asshole here because without all the right information, and the country they are in makes a huge amount of difference, and it's something that could have been given without giving away where they are, aside from what country they're in. Countries are big things. By knowing what the country was and a little bit of their personal background about their anxiety, you'd be able to make a call on what they're trying to ask. In this case, are they being an asshole? And they're not giving you the information. They're trying to give you a lot less than is required. Yeah.
Illuminati says, I'm not a huge fan of PDA, but I can have sneaky sex in public. Go figure. I'm with you, girl. I was just going to say that. Like, I don't want to make out, like, heavy petting and making out, but sneaky sex somewhere could be very exciting. So I'm with you with that.
Hell yeah, it is.
Hell yeah. Like,
having said that, no. What I was going to say is a Saturday night comment. It really is a Saturday night. I'll tell you later, Claire.
Okay, come Saturday. You can tell us. Lacey, show up. I'm sure, Lacey, you should show up Saturday, because I'm sure you and Jen could have quite an interesting conversation.
Yeah. Show up Saturday, because Jen's going to reveal all the weird places she's had sex.
There we go. We got a stream. I'm assuming it's more than one. So, just from a little bit of our conversation, I'm assuming it's more than one place. So there you go. We got a stream, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Just Chat said she was offended at first about her husband not wanting to show PDA, till I noticed it made him nervous. You can tell we are a couple without kissing. He is a Southern gentleman. Exactly. I'm sure he opens the door for you, or puts an arm around you, or, helps by leading it. I'm sure. And that's great. You're being very respectful, which is what I would be also about someone who was nervous about it. It deserves a conversation and a compromise if you love the person and you are truly together.
And you don't have that argument in public. You just go, okay, I'll step back for now. And you go and have that private conversation later. You know exactly where the person's at, and then you figure out where your boundaries are that work with the relationship, so you can both get what you need out of that relationship. And if you can't come to a middle ground where you both get what you need out of a relationship, then maybe that relationship, as much as you might like each other, is not going to work. And struggling at a relationship that can't work is destructive to you, especially if you're close enough that you'd like to stay friends.
If you actually have the respect in your friends too, that it's better to cut it off. I've been in that situation. You cut it off, you stay friends. Hey, Chris. But John says there is no such thing as a safe country. A gay person can be attacked anywhere just for being who they are. And I agree with you, John. The world is not as we would like it to be yet. It happens. I hope that I would never let it happen in front of me without intervening, but I do
People do
acknowledge
though.
that,
That's the
John.
worst
Yeah.
part about it is that people will, and I totally get this because generally speaking, if full disclaimer here, I'm part of the LGBTQ plus community. So it, when people get attacked, it's generally not one person who attacks one other person. It's generally a mob mentality where a mob think they have a power over the people who are part of the minority. It doesn't matter what that minority is, whether it's because of color or it's because of gender or sexuality, whatever perceived thing that's different that they don't like. And they have a mob rule. So you're on your own, or there's two of you, and there's this mob of 4 or 5 fucking bigots who decide that they're going to take it out on you. If you're a bystander and you see a couple of people getting beaten up by a gang, effectively, I can understand you might not want to get involved. The bit I don't understand, though, is most of us have mobile phones now. Why would you just walk away and
call
not
the police, call for help? You know, you don't have to hurt yourself, but get them some help. Yeah, like intervene at least that way. I can understand, you know, you're not if you're by yourself, but like, you know, the odds are different, you know. You speak out, even just yelling, you know, just to knock it off or whatever. I know you don't want to call attention to yourself. You don't want to get beat too, but I don't know. It's a tough
and be aware
position.
that not all threats in public end up in physical violence.
It's
just
true.
Just having a gang of people verbally threaten someone,
right,
can destroy their self-confidence.
Well, but here's the thing:
being on the receiving end, being on the receiving end of that is absolutely dreadful. You don't know if you're going to get away alive, and they haven't even hit you. So
that's true, and that's the thing. Silence adds to them having the courage to do this kind of shit. When it gets called out, when people are being bullied or they're saying unkind things or they're targeting somebody for no other reason, you know, just because of their own lack of acceptance or ignorance. I would like to say ignorance really loud.
Oh yeah.
You know, you have to lend a voice to it, because silence is just as deadly. It gives credence to the bullshit. Like, it adds like credibility where it doesn't belong, because people aren't saying anything. So I know it's hard. It is hard. I'm a fence sitter most of the time about things because I don't like to judge people. But sometimes being a fence sitter gets nothing but getting a stick up your ass, people. Like, sometimes you have to say something. You have to speak out, you know, and do something, because you don't want to live with the regret that you didn't. Like, you know, that's just my opinion.
This has been a public service announcement by Claire
But
Bear.
the Bear, it is. We call those bearisms. I should have just like did a verbal on it. Maybe I will.
Yeah,
But
you need a little cutscene to a little graphic that you can pop up.
Yeah.
So, sorry for the seriousness, people, but it actually led us down that track of serious.
It is you know, but sometimes these AITAs, it's not unusual that they do get serious, because they are involving real issues that that's why I like to do them. They're not always just funny. I do make a lot of jokes, but they do approach what I always say, that every relationship needs communication and compromise. It doesn't matter what, no matter how well you're getting along from day one, you think you're like meant for each other. You like got the synchronicity going on. You think it's kismet, whatever. You're just like perfect for each other. There's going to be shit that you're going to have to discuss.
There's always shit.
There's always shit. Because I'm sorry, people, the world just throws shit at you on a regular basis.
And sometimes there's shit
time.
that you don't even experience. Occasionally there'll be shit that's happened. There's shit from your background or their background, and it's never been relevant up to a point in a relationship. And all of a sudden, you can be in a relationship for a couple of years, and all of a sudden, this shit comes back, and you've got to deal with it. And there you go,
and you got to deal with it. Yep. But
then you've got to deal with it, and that can be hard to do. And it's hard to be on the person who suddenly had this shit thrust upon them, and or for you if it's your shit that's suddenly come back up. And then, because it's not normally because when you're in a relationship, you're hiding shit, or some people do hide shit, but it's not normally because people are hiding shit. It's just because it wasn't anything you thought was going to be relevant. Yeah, it just didn't come up.
Yeah. Because, like, if it's mine, it's my shit from the past. Maybe it's something I already dealt with and it's not relevant to what's going on right now.
Of course, if you're the guy in the relationship and that shit doesn't come up, go and see your doctor.
God, you gotta come Saturday. Oh my God, why do you save this shit for Saturday? Oh my God. Whoa,
Hey, the joke was there. If the joke's there, it's got to be
there.
said.
You gotta take it. They're used.
You got to take it.
They're used to it. But
if I save my joke till Saturday, it's not going to be funny.
Yeah, it would get tired and limp. I know.
Yeah,
Ted Frank
I'll forget
said,
it by then as well.
"Oh." Ted Frank said, as I learned, if your partner is ignoring you for no reason or extended periods of time, then that is a good sign that they don't love you anymore.
This
It
has
could
become
be.
relationship hour, hasn't it?
It does, but I like that. You know, I want to be a bear. I want to be a bear psychologist. I want to be like a counselor. I want to be a bear counselor.
You're going to get a PhD and rub it into your system.
I'm going to get a PhD and rub it, but I don't know about rubbing it into my system because she don't care. I don't know. Illuminati said, it's what we don't talk about. What really needs to be talked about again, about communication. Again, communication is lubrication. I'm with you, girl. I say that all the time.
I love that
because
line.
If I can't communicate with my partner, there's definitely nothing going on there. But it's all, I'm just an intellectual fucktard. What can I tell you?
Lubricate that relationship with your tongue.
No, I was talking about the brain, Jane.
Okay. Well,
I was talking about mental stimulation.
Wait, you got to talk about it using your tongue.
I guess. Yes, you're right. You scientifically bashed me back. Yes, you did. Anatomy-wise, yes, my tongue is responsible for the words that are coming out of my mouth. I get it.
Now that's a good way to get out of when I say something that's really bad and you don't like it. It's not me. It's my tongue.
No, it's okay.
I cannot be held responsible for the words that roll off my tongue.
And John said, bad communication could be like a cactus dildo.
Oh,
yes. That's painful, but I get it, John. Yes, that's a good analogy. I'm gonna steal that, John. Thank you. And student, I just read that. I'm very, very sorry to hear that. He says that he just found out that somebody ghosted him under the pretense that they were away at work for quite a while. That's not cool. That's not cool. Yeah. You deserved a conversation. I just want to tell you that, student, that doesn't matter what was going on in your relationship. I don't know about it. If you're fighting, if it was, whatever, if she was unhappy, you deserved, she or he or whoever, you deserved a conversation. Like, don't ghost people. Like, have that conversation. It doesn't matter what's going on right now. It could be horrible. It could be not the right thing for you. But you got to remember why you started the relationship and have enough decency and respect for the relationship you had prior and that you were in a relationship to have a conversation. Everybody deserves that. Everybody deserves closure in some way. So I'm sorry, student. I'm hoping she will think again and talk to you about it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to just say she all the time. It's a bad habit. It's just
they.
I am not pronoun prolific, people. I own it. I'm an asshole when it comes to pronouns. It's bad. I am. I get them wrong all the time.
Pronouns are hard because we grow up learning to use pronouns in a certain way. Although, having said that, any asshole who says that they, them, and cannot be used singular failed fucking English.
I have to. They do. Yeah, like, you get a grammar F, people, if you say that.
You really do, because they, them have been used singularly for fucking centuries, as long as we've had them, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So if you think you can't use they, them singularly for people, you're being an asshole, basically.
Yeah.
But I totally get that we grow up learning to use she, her, he, him.
Yeah,
so when you suddenly are confronted with having to use they, and it feels uncomfortable. It does feel uncomfortable for people. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try.
I do try, and I don't want to say like what did we have the whole conversation the other stream about whether Puddle was a he, she, or it? We had to say
that's
it.
Right. Yeah.
And he asked to be called it, and I still can't do it. See, I just called you he. I don't know. I can't call you it. I'm like not prolific with this.
I think Puddle was happy with he or it though. So.
With the flirt game he's got going on, he should be. I don't know. But anyway.
But there is an perpetuate to that pretense that we have that we get to know people by a certain pronoun. And then if they ask for something different, it is really hard to change. No matter how well-intended you are, changing for somebody, changing what you feel comfortable with for them, just to make it comfortable, what you feel comfortable with saying to make for their comfort is really hard to do. Doesn't mean we shouldn't do it, but we need to be aware of the fact that it is hard to do. It is actually hard for people to change pronouns for people.
It is. It can be because you have like history and everything, but trying.
It's different if you just met if you've just met somebody and you've assumed their pronouns and they've corrected you and then you continue to use the wrong pronouns, you're being a bit of an asshole at that point.
You're an asshole.
You are definitely the asshole. We don't even need an AITA thread for that. You are an asshole.
Yeah, that's it. And,
Vote one, everyone.
Yeah, right. I am occasionally that asshole because I'll like forget or misspeak. Like I misspeak a lot. Like I put the wrong word in and jumble
I've
stuff
been that
up.
asshole too. I'll fully admit it. There are people who I haven't known for very long who've told me their pronouns and I will still get it fucking wrong. So it happens to all of us, but we are effectively being the asshole when we do that because
we are. But that's what I say. People, introduce yourself by your first name to me and I promise I won't get it wrong anymore. Just let me call you your name and I will be good. Because I don't mean to mess it up. I really don't. I just misspeak.
Gee, really care. That's harsh.
What?
Oh, really care just said, I don't agree with being forced to about pronouns. I will just call people what they biologically are.
How do you know, though? If they're asking you and telling you, but that's your choice.
You are an asshole then, really.
That's your choice, but we do get to say that that's a being a bit asshole because you are not acknowledging what someone prefers. And, that's being a little disrespectful, too. Like you're forcing something on them, on your own opinion. And all I have to say about that is maybe you don't mean it as harsh, but what makes your opinion more than their own? Like it's you got to give a little bit. If
exactly,
it's not really causing you any harm to call them by what they want to be called.
There's no harm for you to be nice to be respectful to somebody else.
Yeah,
but there could be an awful lot of harm to them if you're not prepared to be respectful.
No, but let's do another AIT. I mean, actually, I should ask you. Well, it's been an hour. Do you have time?
Somebody in the chat an asshole. We'll do.
No, I'm sorry. We're not trying to be. They are what they are. Yes, they are, but they have changed. Some of them have changed, and I don't want to get into that debate. We'll do a whole nother stream on that if you like, and I would love to present all of the sides of it. But that's not always the case anymore. Is what I'm saying, really, kid. That's not always the case. You're saying they are what they are, and that's not always the case.
You're making assumptions about what gender is there and how biology works when I think you possibly don't understand it incredibly well there, really care. And maybe you should go and do a bit more research into the subject before you make assumptions on other people's behalves.
Yeah. Either way, it's hard to make. And when any assumptions in any case on that just makes everybody involved look really bad.
Port School has it right. Using the wrong pronoun is like making their coffee wrong. If it's deliberate, you're an asshole.
Yes, if it's deliberate. It is your opinion, really. You're entitled to it, just like Jen is entitled to hers or me or anyone else in the chat. You can say it, but you're going to say it, then people have a right to say something back. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Because I don't really want to fight in this stream about it.
We're not going to fight about this. But
because for me, it's not a fight.
We're just pointing out.
It's common sense. If that's what they want to be called, it's a matter of respect. Call them whatever they want to be called. Do your best to not be disrespectful. That's where I am on it. Going out of your way to do the other is disrespectful. You can go more than an hour. Are you rushed this morning? I know it's it's evening for me, but it's first thing in the morning. Do you have plans, Jen?
No, I'm good. We can keep going.
Okay, good. Oh, I'm gonna pick something. That is gonna, that's always a very tough topic. I don't even know, but not so tough for me. I just think it's a matter of respect. But I don't know. All right. Okay, am I the asshole for calling my friend and her mother disgusting, even though they were mourning. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty harsh, I think. All right, so this has been a big thing recently. My best friend, who's 15 years old, suddenly passed away 2 weeks ago. At the time, I was out of state, and his father was on account out of the country on business, so his mother was left alone and understandably a mess to make arrangements. So cue one of our friends, who's 21, and her first initial is K, the female, and her mother helped by stepping in to set up everything. Everyone was so grateful that that those two were immediately helpful and willing to help the mom set everything up until everybody got back for the services. Now, Kay and her mother belong to a church that is not a cult. M was
we'll
not
be the
religious.
judges of that.
Yeah, right. The person who passed away's initial is M. So M was not religious, though he was very spiritual. Although open to new ideas and explanations, he was not quiet about this, and everyone very well was aware of it and what he believed in. So I was a little bit surprised when they announced his memorial celebration would be at the not a cult church. And they put that in quotes, and I don't understand why, but I knew Kay went there, so I figured it was a place she could get things arranged at the fastest. I had no problem with it at that stage. Then after the service, we were all talking and catching up with people we hadn't seen for a while. And I ended up talking to her about the last thing we did for M. I said I had walked his dog, and Kay said she saved him. I asked what she meant by that, and she told me that, paraphrasing, she had blessed him as he was leaving this world, and that she saved his soul even though she hadn't reached him in life by giving him a not a cult funeral. When I was very upset because M was not a member of this church and he had his own strong beliefs, I think we owe him respect even now. I told Kay that she took advantage of his mother and that her mother did, and it was disgusting for forcing their beliefs over someone who couldn't protest. So was they the asshole?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I think she called out this person correctly. You know, that's arsehole-y thing to do. I think the not a cult in quotes meant that she definitely thinks this is a cult church.
Yeah, I think it's like not a cult. Like it's like, yeah,
that is something that Catholics do, I believe, that they'll pray over the dead or the nearly dying to try and save their souls. And I think I mean, it wouldn't make any difference to me if somebody did it to me because I still believe it was shit. But I think it's the wrong thing to do because you're being again, we're going back to that thing that you're being disrespectful of someone at this point. You know, you're not respecting their wishes, so you're being disrespectful. At that point, you're being an asshole. If you're being disrespectful of people for whatever reason, you're an asshole.
No, I tend to agree, especially because she had discussions obviously with M, the friend did, and had tried to save him, and it wasn't successful. But so what does she do? She waits until he passes and does that last ditch. Now I understand she may feel really strongly about it and think she's doing the right thing, but it does seem like she's not respecting his wishes as a person, as if he didn't know his own mind or his own beliefs. And I find that a little distasteful, a little disrespectful. Everybody's entitled to believe what they want, believe, not believe, whatever. But do we actually have the right to disregard another's belief? You know, we may think it's not for us. It's not for us. And we can clearly say that. We can say it loud. We can climb a mountain. We can scream it. But do we actually have the rights, since we're all free-thinking individuals, to say that the other person doesn't have a right to that opinion? I don't think so. And I get called out on it all the time because people will tell me, well, that's just dumb because they're being stupid.
People have rights to their opinions, and people have rights to their own beliefs. People don't have a right to avoid the consequences of those beliefs and opinions. Yeah. That's the difference. That's why if that's why you'll call out somebody for being an asshole for doing something that's assholey, like in this situation. Right. that they're being an asshole. They have rights to their beliefs and they can think that what they're doing is right. But when you're talking about the freedoms of the other people, when you're talking about a person's personal beliefs and the respect that you owe other people, well, we don't owe other people, but the respect that you should give other people for their beliefs, then yes, you're being an asshole. I mean, we can go back to what we were talking about before with Rarely. That Rarely is entirely entitled to their beliefs on the subject we were talking about before. But you're not entitled to freedom from repercussions of those beliefs. So in that case, you voice those beliefs in an area where there might be people who are going to call you out for being an asshole for acting on those beliefs, then that's your repercussions for your beliefs. Because you know, most of the people probably in your chat, Claire, are going to think, yeah, you're being a bit of an asshole for that. In the same way as this person is an asshole for praying over somebody who was non-religious or had different faith.
Right.
You don't do that. You don't fuck on people's beliefs like that for any reason whatsoever. I mean, I hate organized religion. I think it's one of the worst things in our world. My mum is a Christian. I would never tell her that she can't go to church. I have taken her to church and I've sat through a service, even though I don't like it. I will do that because it's the right thing to do. And it's about respecting other people's beliefs. I will tell people to bugger off if they want to try and convert me when I'm there, but that's entirely different because then they're encroaching on what I believe. So there's this element of you've got to respect other people to a certain degree. And that's being good to people. And this was not being good to people. This was being an asshole.
Yeah, it was. And and the mom was obviously distressed. And again, there's not a lot of information here, like where the mom came from in religious belief or anything like that. And so it's hard to see if maybe they just went forward with it based on something she had said. But it does look by what the friend is saying that it was just really her mission to save him. And some people are like that. And it's I find it offensive that people don't think you know your own mind when you have an opinion about something.
Oh, especially, they were old and stupid and they didn't know. But I would have, if they'd lived longer, I would have converted them. No. Fuck off.
No, right.
That.
It's
just fuck off and don't come back again.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
It's distressing because he couldn't fight back and there was nobody there to fight for him. So...
oh, we are tripping all over each other today, aren't we? There must be a bit of lag here.
There is, but I'm sorry. It's because I talk a lot. I own it because I'm just.
Well, you and I are the same like that. We will happily talk.
Yeah, I'm just an over talker. I get called out on it all the time. I get excited and I don't know when to shut up. I need little sign. I need one of those little things that just pops up with says Claire. Shut the fuck up. I could just go on and on, but I hope everyone is entitled to their opinion and everybody's gonna express it. And I'm not gonna. Yeah,
people are entitled to their opinions. They're entitled to express those opinions. You're not entitled to immunities from the public reaction to your opinions. And I
just think if this person had a right to have the kind of service or be respected for what they believed, even though they passed, I think, if anything, people take that as a lesson and put it all in writing so you get what you want. They have to do what you say because, I have strong issues about it. I don't want to be put in the ground. Worms ain't going to get me. And my mom had serious issues with that. We had words, because that was something traditional that she believed in, that it had to be that way. But,
I mean, the other side around that, if your parents are religious and you're not, and one of your parents dies or a grandparent or something like that dies, and because you're not religious, we're just going to have a secular funeral.
Oh, no, that's not.
You're an asshole.
Because you're doing the same thing she did. You're disregarding the person's beliefs. I would never do that to my parent, to a relative, to anyone.
Anyone,
you could trust me, people. If you put me in regards to your service, I'm going to do exactly what you want. Like, that's it. It's your service.
Exactly.
That's it. I may not believe the same thing you believe, but I believe you have a right to believe whatever you believe, and to have as your final exit, however that may be, to have it exactly the way you want it. So, yeah. Now
Exactly,
what?
Sunny D. Yeah. See, I don't have any problems with people having a religion. I have problems when people start foisting their religion on other people.
Mm-hmm.
And that the same goes if you're an atheist or whatever else, and you want to foist your atheism on people. You're being as much an asshole as the Christian does, or the Muslim, or
Right.
whoever else it is that you hate, because not hate. Well, no, there are some atheists who hate people. You are just as bad at that point. Don't foist your ideas on other people. Call them out if their ideas are hurting people.
Right.
But call them out for their ideas.
Right, not their beliefs, but their actions, actually. I think what we mean is, like, call people out for their actions and not so much their beliefs. Like, they can have they're entitled to whatever they want to think. It's their actions. It's what they do with it.
And I'm sorry for using Rarely as an example here. Anybody who wants to go at Rarely personally for Rarely's beliefs, you're an asshole too. Calling Rarely out for Rarely's actions on Rarely's belief instead of respecting other people, that's fair.
That's fair, but not for believing. Like, you can believe whatever you want to believe. It's true. You got every right to it, and you have every right to your opinion. Do. Right. John says, I love myself, yay porn. I'm with you, John. I kind of like myself too, and yay porn every day. Like, yay porn. Every stream. That's it.
Yeah.
And Rarely, that's a good, all right, you're back in my good graces now, because he's not anti-porn, so there you go. I don't know. You two were my nap music. What is nap music? I don't understand. Did I miss something, Mrs. Cassandra? Are you
we Miss Cassandra fall asleep?
You two were my nap. We put you to sleep? How dare you?
How
is that
rude.
what you're saying? Oh, Mrs. Cassandra.
There'll be no Christian funeral for you, Mrs. Cassandra.
Unless, of course, that's what you want, because
unless, of course, that's what you want, yeah.
Then I'm gonna do it, but I don't know about that one. But that was an interesting one, because I knew that could really get heated, but I don't get into I don't debate anybody on religion. I don't, because you know what? You cannot change somebody's mind about what they believe. I don't care what anybody said. All right, come by, you people. Go ahead. I can see this will be the thing that fills my DMs, Jen. But
yeah.
I will not get on any thread, an atheist thread, a theist thread, whatever. I'm not going to get on there and challenge anybody on their belief, because a belief is just a belief, okay? It doesn't have to have scientific knowledge behind it. They don't have to have read the Bible frontwards and backwards and know how to say it in 17 different languages. They don't have to know what they're talking about to prove what they think or feel. And that's what I think a belief is how you think or feel about something. And so I'm not going to argue with them, because that's futile. That's like stupid to me, because I'm going to be banging my head against the wall, and I like my head, and I don't like headaches. So, like, I don't do it, because I see these threads. They go on for days.
I can't be bothered with that bullshit. It's like, why are you arguing with these people? People are allowed to have their own beliefs. They totally are. If your belief starts encroaching on other people, if your belief is now affecting other people's mental health or physical well-being, then you're an asshole and you can fuck off. But that's because that's your actions, what your actions do. But your belief, you're entirely allowed to have your belief. You're entirely allowed to have your worship. You're allowed to have all those things that go with it. Even some of the bigoted stuff that comes out of religion, you're entitled to hold those beliefs. If you enact on them in such a way that you're affecting other people, then you're an asshole, and I will call you out for it.
Right, like human rights issues, like in some of the more severe ones. Yeah.
And complaining about the one that really gets me is when we make progressions as a society and create and amend our human rights issues all the time to allow for a more inclusive society. And I'm pro that. I'm very leftist in that sense. But it frustrates me when we do that. We are those same courtesies that are given to minorities when we expand human rights to make sure that minorities are included, actually expand the human rights of everybody, not just the minorities. We're protecting everybody in those things. So when you hear people who are already in, and I'm going to use a word that probably a lot of people in your channel don't like hearing, when you hear people who already have those privileges complain about giving privileges to other people, that pisses me off. It's like, these people
I don't think
didn't
they'd be
have those
against that word.
privileges. Give them the same rights. And I'm sorry, if you can effectively in legislation say that people have rights, but then they actually don't because they're not protected. The right might be officially might be there in a certain sense, but if it's not protected, if it's not enshrined in the legislation, then they can't rely on that and people will abuse it.
Right.
Which
It has
is
to
why
become
we have human rights
universal.
legislation. It does.
Right.
That's why you either
become
need human rights
commonplace, yeah.
legislation or you need courts to make a decision about how far these rights extend. Because until you do that, until you make the laws, until you try the laws, you don't know where the rights end, and people are assholes. In general, most people at some point in time are going to be an asshole. And a lot of people are more assholey than others, and they will take advantage of that, which is why we need those rights for people. And you need to respect other people in that sense. So respect their people's beliefs, but call out bad actions from people's beliefs.
I agree with you 100%.
Well, yeah, how we got serious again?
I know. But
you had me on to have the fun in the last, and we've been serious.
I know, but it happens sometimes with the thread because issues come up, and that's what I like about them. Because I'm not just a naked funny bear. Like I do, I like these conversations. I cultivate these kind of conversations. Like I'll start shit to have this conversation.
The problem is you got me in the morning when I'm all serious and waking up.
That's it.
That's what it is.
But it comes up, and when things come up, we address them and we talk about them because they do.
Which is why you ended up talking about duck sex.
That's it. I did not plan a stream. I swear to God, people, I never planned a stream to talk about duck sex. It's going to follow me around forever. I didn't plan it. I don't know how it happened. I can't even recall the scenario that set it up, but I'm sure there's somebody to blame, and it's not me. But I'm not taking the blame for it. Mrs. Cassandra said we didn't put her to sleep. She woke up. She was tired.
Oh, we wake you up.
Yeah. So we give her a free pass for that. But,
well, we're glad you're here, Miss Cassandra.
Yeah, I'm always glad when she shows. She's a lot of fun. She's the reason we have Midnight Madness and Mayhem streams. It's Mrs. Cassandra playing in the chats with me everywhere I'm on, and part of the Insomniac crew from way back. Yeah. Well, we do play in the chat. I mean, think of that however you like. But playing can be playing. Mrs. Cassandra, she's not upset if I say I play with her in the chat. It's like, I don't know. I don't think anybody's going to be upset about that. But phrasing, I could have said it much worse. I have.
You have, yeah.
I have. I definitely have. But you got time for one more? I think I have another one up.
Yeah, we got time for one more.
All right. We're going to go. Okay, great. So now I'm going to get all sexist on you. Because why the fuck not?
So you're going to get a sexist one and we're going to get serious again?
No, not actually. Because this one's just a...
Can I just start? These are the topics that will come up. Respect, boundaries, and human rights. These are the subjects this will probably bring up.
I don't know. Maybe. I think they might. I think they might.
Maybe.
Okay. Is a 25-year-old male and a 22-year-old girlfriend. They have different jobs. He's a professor and she's an amazing artist and graphic designer.
And
it's honestly...
Put up the thing because no one can read this.
Oh!
I was hoping you'd notice that. Hey.
No, of course I didn't fucking notice. I'm on the other tab reading it and didn't even notice I didn't have the blue square. Yes. I need help with this. Yeah, you know, somebody who knows great. Yeah, Chris, this is a failure. You do much better with your editing and your controller streams. Oh my God. Okay. So anyway, he's a professor and she's a graphic artist. And I'm going to paraphrase because this one's a little long, you know. His
Yeah.
problem is they have a great relationship, he's saying. They communicate openly. They rarely fight. They always have cuddle time. We've been together for 2 years. Before anyone asked, no, she was not my student. I was in grad school and she was about to graduate at a different uni. And we met through a mutual friend. The problem is her wardrobe consists solely of hoodies and jumpers or crop tops, but mostly the former. When I take her out to a fancy dinner and we both get excited for her, I'm all dressed up and she wears a jumper and tights. I have an academic conference seminar that she wanted to attend and she showed up in a hoodie while everyone else, myself included, wore formal slacks and button downs and things like that. She got mistaken as a student. She doesn't own more than one formal shirt and I don't think I've even seen her wear that one. One morning I asked, as nicely as I could, if she wanted to wear a turtleneck instead of her knit jumper for a fancy dinner with my siblings. She said she'd think about it, but still didn't. During a get-together with my friends at another fancy place, we wore button-downs and she wore a hoodie. I felt embarrassed to sit beside her, who looked like a kid amongst all the working adults. It's not like I never wear more casual clothes, but I think I wear them when it's appropriate and not for events which I feel deserve a little formality. It's driving me insane because I don't think it should be this big a deal. Me either. But I can't help but be disappointed when she shows up like that to dates I've saved up for. It's a little aggravating and I feel miserable that she doesn't think to dress up for me. Like the formality of it all is just disrespected.
Yeah, this is definitely communication. This one.
This is, I don't know, like, you know, maybe he could take a shop. And here's the bad, like, it's hard because as a woman, I would say it always gets a little iffy if my man is telling me how to dress because I'm like, why?
Oh yeah,
Like,
I mean, yeah.
why? You know,
If he's this is a context one where we don't actually have enough context. How
well,
often is he telling her to dress differently, and how much is her not dressing different? Her dressing that way just to piss him off, because that's something I would do.
yeah,
I know
if he
it'd
was
make me the asshole, but I'd still do it.
Yeah. But here's the thing: he is giving the context that he's a more professional person and she's an artist. So I think there's a bit of a personality and jobs. Like she doesn't have to have a lot of fancy clothes for what she does,
No,
and he's just used to wearing.
I get that. I do that too.
Yeah, he's used to wearing professional attire, so he's more used to dressing a little more formal when they go out and all. But here's the thing. I don't think it's a big deal to throw on a dress if that's what my partner wants to do to have a dinner. Now, I'm not saying it's required. Yeah. I'm just saying I'm amiable to it because I want to communicate with my partner. I want him to feel good when we're out. If he's putting out the money, it's a fancy place. He wants to say the word formal. I'm going to dress formal. If he tells me, he's not going to tell me how to dress because I don't think I'd be with somebody like that. But they use key words like it's a little fancier place. It's this, it's that. I am going to grant them the respect, regardless of if I think, you know, wearing an underwire bra and a bunch of heels is the most painful fucking thing in the whole goddamn world. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for my partner for that dinner because why not? Like, I would have a hard time trying to think of a really good reason why not to do it if it's going to make them more comfortable out and it's going to be fancy or whatever. Like, so what? You know, it just makes it more fun when you got to take it all off when you get home anyway. So, like, I would not think it's so oppressive or even sexist if they requested me to dress up. He's only saying dress up. He's not saying go buy the pink blouse and wear the black slit skirt. You know, it's not being sexist. But it's not being disrespectful. Well, based on the context I've got, yeah, and just based on their different styles.
I think that there's two aspects to it. One of those is probably some of the times when he's thinking she needs to dress better, she probably doesn't have to, and he's putting his own expectations onto her. But there's definitely an element of a lack of respect from her side where, you know, if you know you're going to a dinner and this is important to your partner and I would dare say that he's probably used words like formal or
Mm-hmm.
it's it's a proper do.
Yeah.
If my boyfriend said to me that, oh yeah, we're going somewhere that this is a bit classy, I'm not going to show up in a fucking hoodie
Exactly.
and
That's the
leggings.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you
And if
put on something that's a bit nicer.
Exactly. And if it's a matter of not having the clothing, then make a shopping strip. He looks like he would be amenable to like go shopping with her and buy things if she needed them, if it's because she's an artist and does not have the income to add things to her wardrobe or whatever. I think they could have worked on it. I like this comment by Rarely Care here because she needs to grow up and take his feelings into consideration. I'm with you on that. It doesn't look like she is, but then again, I'm not sure how he's communicating it either. So like he did use the word kid and child and like, he used
Yeah,
certain
he's a
phrasing.
bit disrespectful in his own words. So I think we're looking at an image of a relationship that's heading towards its end, where there's not a lot of respect in either direction.
Mm-hmm. I
Which,
think Ted Frank says, "Oh, let's dress up like we're getting an award." I don't really mean it that way. I just mean it as a sign of respect that they're asking. Like I'm not like I don't think my I don't think my
no,
partner
I
thinks
mean,
it's a reward,
if
but
you've got a
still.
conference, if you're going to a conference, I don't. What was his profession again? Did he actually say
I said a professor. He
he
said
was
he
a
was a
professor?
professor.
Okay, so
So
he's got
so
a
he's an
conference that
academic.
he's
He's
going
in.
to. Those
Mm-hmm,
academic conferences generally have, they're almost suit and tie affairs.
mm-hmm. True.
So there would be an expectation that he would show up as
There
he
is.
and his partner would show up in something semi-formal at least.
Right.
You probably get away with a pair of jeans or a nice dress or whatever
Right.
else, but
At a
you
conference,
don't
it
show
didn't have
up
to
with
be that.
slacks and a hoodie. Slacks and a
Right.
hoodie is not considered dress clothes
Right.
anywhere.
Right. Belinda says, what about her feelings? Surely she should wear whatever she feel comfortable wearing. And if he's not comfortable with her, then that's his problem. I get that. And I think it is a communication issue that he's not expressing himself clearly, and that it could be just like, the issue is that maybe he does think she's a little immature because she doesn't automatically get it that, the
Yeah,
attire for wherever they are is not appropriate. And we all admit that, you can't show up to some places dressed however the hell you want. I mean, you can, obviously, physically, you can do it.
there,
But is
there's
it
a
going to
level of
be,
respect here that I
yeah,
think Belinda's missing. That like he's a professional who has to go to these events that will be suit and tie. It's part of his career. If he's a professor, he's probably teaching. He's got faculty meetings. He's got things like that he has
mhm,
to go to. If she wants to go with him, I mean, she doesn't. She can say, "Oh, look, I don't really like that sort of thing. I don't want to go," and that's perfectly valid and fair. But
mhm,
if she wants to go with him, there is an expectation there for what he should wear and what all the people who are
mhm,
there should be at a certain professional
right.
level of dressing. I don't know that I necessarily agree with this whole idea of professional level of dressing, but it's what
Mhm.
we live in. If
It
you
is the
have
world.
to
Yeah.
live in that society convention,
Mhm.
then
Yeah, I get it.
you should make an effort for that, even if she's a little uncomfortable for it, because I'm pretty damn sure. Well, no, I'm not sure. But if you're in a proper relationship, the reverse should also be the case. Like if he's going somewhere with her friends, he's not going to show up in a suit and tie. He'll wear
Exactly.
some trackies and a t-shirt to show up for something arty if that's all that's required.
Mhm.
Hopefully he would do the same respect in the other way. I mean, if they're just
Exactly.
from two different worlds where he's always suit and tie and she's always hoodie and things, what got them together in the first place?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm
I
trying to
don't
figure
know.
that out. I think that's why he put the disclaimer in. No, she's not my student. Like, I think that he gets asked that a lot, actually. Hawkscope brings up another point that sometimes people who live in hoodies have self-image issues since the
Yeah,
hoodie hides form older clothing, excluding the captain. Maybe talking to her about that might give an insight. Yeah, well, here's the thing. Maybe talking in general. Like, I don't get the impression from what he's saying that they actually have had an open conversation about that. I think it's more like a sentence here and there, or you're not getting your point across. Like him dropping a word and expecting she knows what he means. Like that frustrates me. When somebody just like throws a little hint at you and they expect that you know everything. Well, I gave you enough hints. You should have known. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
that's like, that's not fair.
This is a
That's like,
communication issue.
yeah.
Again, as we said at the start, this is definitely a communication issue where the talking between them sounds like him dictating to her what she should wear. And I totally agree with Belinda on this. You know, he shouldn't be dictating what she wears.
Right.
On the other side of that, if she's not prepared to dress for the occasions that he has to go to, then maybe they shouldn't go together. Also, maybe he shouldn't be booking classy restaurants because she obviously doesn't care about if it's a classy restaurant and would rather go somewhere where it's more comfortable for her to wear what she's comfortable in.
Right. If you here's my thing. If you're gonna get your nose out of joint, you're gonna be disappointed about somebody else's behavior. You owe them a conversation about what you expect. This is all about expectations not being met. And I have issue with that in relationships, that people tend to do that a lot. They take a lot for granted. Like, you should know, you've been with me long enough. You should actually know what I expected.
In this case,
and like,
is he an asshole? Yeah, he's a bit of an asshole, actually, because he's taking something that he should be dealing with privately and a discussion with her and making it public to make himself feel better.
Oh, in that case, everyone who writes one of these is
an asshole. Yes, I tend to agree with that. Everyone who writes one of these is an asshole. But I think in this case, it's especially that he's looking for justification for what he wants out of the relationship, and in that sense, instead of actually talking to her properly, which is what people in a mature relationship should fucking do.
Oh, there you go. There's the word mature right there. He's calling her a kid, and he's the professor. And and you know, here's the thing: just because you have a degree and a big job and everything, it does not make you an excellent communicator. Sometimes
I think he actually has. I think there's an undertone there if he thinks he's actually better than her.
You mean a God complex of some kind, or thing?
Yeah, something along those lines. She's only an art student. I'm a professor. I have professional standards. She should meet them. There's definitely an undertone of that there.
Yeah,
and in that sense, he is definitely the arsehole.
Yeah, that just hit the nail on the head for me with one of my biggest peeves in relationships is when someone is attracted to you for all that you represent. You know, you're funny, you're flirty, you're autistic, you're whatever. And then they get in a relationship with you and they're like, can you tone that down? Because like people might think you're a flirt and you're funny and you're creative. Like, you know,
hang on. This is you like me for me, but now you want all those bits that you like about me just for you, and I can't be me to anyone else. Fuck off. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Yeah, you could imagine how those conversations go with me. But I had to learn. I mean, when I was younger, I would just it took a little bit longer for me to figure it out. Like, what? What?
The thing when you're younger, when you're with somebody and you're trying to change yourself for them, that is the worst thing you can do. Healthy relationship advice, people. Don't change yourself for somebody else. It's not worth it.
He didn't say one of the easiest ways to open this conversation. He could have, in my mind, and you know, I know it's a little sexist, and I am kind of I am pro women's lib, and I'm strong on strong, independent women with a voice, whatever. But I'm also a little softer, that I'm not gonna in a relationship bash on a man's idea of what they consider not really being crossing the boundaries about clothing and things like that. So he could have bought her a blazer. Let's just start with a goddamn blazer.
Yeah,
okay?
goddamn blazer.
Right.
A good pair of leggings, which you'd probably be comfortable in. Good pair of leggings and a blazer.
A blazer could have solved this situation, hands down. Now, blazers are expensive. Yeah.
So a nice comfy t-shirt style blouse with a blazer and a pair of leggings, and you can look classy.
Done. She's comfortable. She has a jacket on, so he's fine. And that could have started the conversation if he presented it to her with, if it's not to your liking, we'll exchange it. But you can wear whatever you want. But where we're going, a blazer is kind of like the uniform. I know you're against uniforms, but could you help me be more comfortable in this environment by wearing it, and then see if it's really an issue for her. Because if it's really an issue, then they have issues amongst their relationship that they're just not going to get along, because maybe for some reason she's totally anti-authoritarian or whatever like that, and she's just going to say fuck the system,
I'm going to
or
answer
whatever.
Belinda here. He should buy her clothes as in dress his woman. No,
I said like a gift, and let her exchange it. Not tell her
let
what
her
to wear.
exchange it. Hey, you don't have to have it, but I saw this and I thought of you.
Exactly. I've been in that situation, and I wasn't offended.
She likes a hoodie. You could get blazers that almost are like a hoodie, but without the hood, and they still look dressy. So you can do it in such a way. You find the clothes that kind of make a compromise, and you buy something as a gift.
Because I agree. I agree with what Belinda's saying. No way should he try to dress her. We're not saying that.
No.
At
that point, she should tell him to fuck off.
Right. It's just like there's that side of the fence and the other side of the fence. And
I agree, Belinda. She should buy him a hoodie.
She should, because I would be very offended if he showed up to anything to do artsy with her, if they go to a museum or anything else, and he's wearing a suit. I would say, dude, like, no, fuck that shit. Like, put on a t-shirt.
What she should do is go and buy them. She should buy the matching hoodies.
Exactly. It's appropriate for both of them to dress for the event that they're going for, either down or up, because it happens with couples a lot.
And Rarely Care did say that he will dress down for her event. So
so he did.
I see that.
I think he's just asking for the same consideration.
I agree, Belinda. Clothes can be a big part of a person's identity, but there is still the aspect of, if you're in a relationship with somebody and they have professional bounds where they have a profession where there are boundaries of clothing as part of that thing, and you're going to go with them. If you're not going to go with them and they're insisting that you go with them, then that's an entirely different story. But if you are choosing to go with them to those events, and those events are meant to be semi-formal or formal, then you should dress the part for those events, because that's how they're meant to be. Just because you are more comfortable wearing the other clothing doesn't mean that you should be doing that. You should be respectful of your partner and their profession at that point, because her doing what she's doing, if he's insisting that she goes with him and she really doesn't want to go, then he's definitely being the asshole at this point.
Absolutely.
But if she's wanting to go along but not wanting to follow the formal guidelines of what these events are and just showing up with a hoodie, then she's being A, disrespectful to his profession, and B, probably hurting his career path. Because these matter for those careers.
He mentioned two situations. One of them was career, and I'm all for she should wear a blazer or something a little more formal for the career type. As far as the restaurants go, that might be on him for forcing fancier restaurants on her that she doesn't. They should compromise on that and be a little more comfortable and find some middle of the road where they both can dress the way they want and go someplace and not force the issue on her, because that's like a date. That's like personal between the two of them when you go to a restaurant. But the work thing is like, I'm going to be a little more, and judge me if you want, like, because I am all women's rights, but I also don't see where I would put my partner in a position where he's uncomfortable in a work environment and not support him in that, because we are going to be on different levels as far as work and things like that. And I would expect the same of them. If my
and we're not saying that if it's a suit and tie event for him, she has to show up in a cocktail dress.
Yeah,
we said a nice blazer, a dressy blouse, but it could still be a t-shirty style blouse.
Right.
And a good pair of leggings, a good pair of black leggings so they look like slacks, and you can buy that and you can be comfy in that, just as comfy, because I've done it. And you can look classy without having to be uncomfortable.
Belinda, we don't mean hurt it. We mean not support it. When you're in a relationship with someone, you support their career path, I think. At least I do. And I'm not saying it hurt it. I'm saying that he's uncomfortable
in certain environments.
And
depending on
he's feeling unsupported is what it is. That's what he's saying. He's feeling unsupported, and that's where I'm drawing the line. Like if it's that,
and he might be in a job where these formal events, you are meant to dress formally. He might actually have a
They are.
job like that.
They are. I can't go to a conference and wear whatever I want, you know. You don't have to. Yes, you can. Actually, physically, you can, people, wear whatever the fuck you want anywhere. But I'm saying accepted protocol, like if you're in a place where they're going to be wearing, you know, a jacket, so to speak, for men, you know, and a pantsuit for a woman, or at least pants
Yeah.
and a nice blouse. It doesn't have to be a dress or anything like that, but it is a step up beside jeans and a t-shirt kind of conference. Some professional ones that I have attended are like that, and no one's wearing jeans and t-shirts. That's the kind of uncomfortable he's talking about, I believe. Right now, we're not saying he should tell her how to dress. I am so, anybody who knows me knows I am not
Belinda,
gonna let anybody tell anybody how to dress, you know.
I did say hurt his career path, because that is something that can actually happen in those professional environments. I've been part of those professional environments, and if you show up in a hoodie and a pair of sweats or something like that, you might not have a job anymore. And even if your partner showed up like that with you, you know, it changes the attitude of some of the other people around you. It shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
It does.
We agree. But that just happens to be the world we live in right now.
Yeah, we happen to live in a world where social conventions actually can hurt career paths for people with certain jobs. And if that's the case for this person, and it might be being that he's a professor, I'm not saying it is, but it might be, then he has a right to be concerned. He also has the right not to say to her, maybe you shouldn't come to this with me as well.
Hey, well, you know what? If he's a professor at certain universities, depending, just dating a 22-year-old is really going to hurt his tenure. You know.
Oh,
just
yeah,
saying.
that's true. But, what was the age difference between them?
He was in his late 30s and she was in her
her
early 20s.
Yeah,
so that alone, you know, and we're not saying like that it's right to tell somebody else how to dress, because that's not what we're saying at all. We're talking about communication and compromise in a relationship. Not, you know, that's what's not happening here. She's not compromising and he's not communicating at all, you know, from what we see, from what little they're letting us see. I don't know how he's expressing it. My suggestion about the blazer was all in a way to make his point known without hurting someone's feelings, because blazers and sometimes formal affair are very expensive. A good cut blazer can set you back hundreds of dollars. So, but they last forever as long as your weight stays the same. Like, you know,
and she'd only need
one. You only need one, right?
And let's face it, if she doesn't think she's going to wear it that often, there is goodwill. You know, you can go to a thrift store, buy something nice that you're just going to wear for that. You know, she strikes me as the sort of person who wouldn't care if it was from Goodwill. So, you know, why not just go and get something that she's just going to wear for the evening? A nice jacket. You know, hell, you can even buy nice jackets that are actually made out of, you know, lightish, more comfortable, stretchy materials, if that's what you prefer. And especially if you're body conscious for any reason, you can buy blazers that will cover them and help protect you.
And I don't think she's selling us off down the river in any way to do it, because there was a comment that said, like, what she should, like, make her clothing can be your identity. Yeah, it's true. Your regular style is part of your identity or everything. But I can assure you that wearing a jacket for one particular event is not going to make me change how I feel about myself or how I relate to the world around me. That's just not going to happen. If you have to wear a certain type of clothing to feel a certain way, that's something you need to do a little perspective on yourself, because I don't think it's wrong to compromise. I think in relationships, if you're not compromising on some level with your partner in some way, there's something seriously wrong there, because compromise is what it's about. Everything changes day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute. There's always compromise with everyone you talk to, everyone you meet, everyone in your family, not in your family, everybody at work, who you sleep with, who you don't sleep with. It's all about compromise and communication. If it's not, you're not relating to people. That's just the truth. You know.
Exactly. And Belinda, I think Claire said he was in his 30s. But having said that, I have a friend who's in his mid-20s who is almost a doctor. You can see him on my podcast, and he's almost got a PhD. So, yeah, it happens. People can do it.
Paula, I don't know what a clairgasm is, but the word blazer does
Yeah, I
it. Like,
saw that
hallelujah for you.
clairgasm.
Like, I don't know why the word blazer. You know,
They like
a
the word
jacket. Yeah.
blazer. But
Well, that's what
I
it is.
mean,
I don't know.
I
Are they not called that? What are they called?
yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
they are cool blazers. They are cool blazers. You're talking about a jacket, but
Yeah,
a
like a
blazer
suit
is
jacket. But when it's bought
a
on its
suit jacket.
own, it's called
It's called a
a
blazer.
blazer. I thought
Yeah,
so. I don't know. Maybe.
and usually that sexist comment here. Usually for
Oh,
women, it's called a blazer always because it's not. You don't say sports jacket for women.
right, because it's
So
like
a
sport.
blazer is the right
Right.
blazer is
That
the
is
right
it.
term.
Thank you,
There's lots
Paula.
of terms. It's like, I mean, a lot of what we call blouse is effectively a t-shirt, but I would say blouse over t-shirt because blouse is more a style and a cut of it than it is
That always gets me
than a
all
normal
messed up.
t-shirt. Yeah.
I always think a blouse has cuffs and buttons, but
Yeah,
that's not true
well,
because
the
they
term
go
has
over your yeah,
changed.
yeah, it's changed.
The
So
term has changed.
I'm dating myself. Yes, I'm old as dirt, people.
And we all use all these words interchangeably, and people go, "Oh,
Yeah.
I like it when you hear that." Well, I use all of them, so
I don't know. I don't know. This is why I'm naked, people. I cannot discuss clothing with any type of education whatsoever. I don't know the terminology. This is why I'm naked behind the avatar all the time. See? Yeah. Problem solved. Mystery solved. On that note, Jen, did you have fun?
I did. This was a lot of fun. We got quite serious there for a minute, several minutes actually. But
It's not the first time. We've had some
it's not
pretty
the
good
best.
debate. Yeah. We've had some pretty good ones with people I least expected of, but and we did, and we really got into it. And it was good, and I like that, and I hope that the chat enjoyed it. And as we said, if we said anything about your comments or anything like that, this is all just discussion. I love that you have your own opinions. I love that you talk back to us so that we can discuss things.
And we love that you're still here, even if we've called you out during the stream, because I suspect we've called just about everybody in chat an arsehole at some point tonight.
No, not everybody, but you were close.
Oh,
Jen.
yeah, no,
you were close.
I was pretty broad with my use of arsehole, and I basically called myself an arsehole as well.
You know what? We do, because it is two assholes reading the AIT.
It
We've
is.
just called ourselves
It
assholes
is.
right out from the start. And so, that's why I go back. And I don't get to see, as they know, I say it over and over, I don't see all of the chat all the time. So I may see only a couple comments and make a decision based on like 2 or 3 about what's being talked about. And I may not have the whole picture. So, go ahead and correct me, people. I'm open to it. I don't want to judge anybody unnecessarily. And I'm not even judging. We are discussing.
Well, there's no judging here.
There's no judging.
We have our own opinions, and in our heads, we're judging like fucking hard. But I will not personally judge you on your takes and stuff like that. But if again, and even with this last one, it comes back to if your actions are hurting somebody else, especially if it's somebody you care about, then maybe you need to reevaluate what your actions are. And in this case, whilst I think he's definitely an arsehole for making this a public announcement and things like that, and he's just looking for a justification of his position, she is also in the wrong in that she is obviously using this. There's one or two options here. Either she has body issues and she feels this is her comfort zone with her clothes, in which case this needs a discussion and a whole heap of therapy.
Yeah, definitely. Like there's more going on.
Or she's acting back up to his attitude to her, and this is not a healthy relationship.
Yeah, he did use terminology I wasn't too impressed with.
Yeah, I'm not keen on that either. Which is why I think we said at the beginning this looks like a relationship that's at its end.
I think so. I do.
He's looking for justification to end it.
Yeah, don't you wish that we got like little snippets of updates that told us like where they are? Like I want to see a where they are thread about the asshole threads. Like where are they now? Like
I think a lot of these asshole threads are people either saying wanting justification for the actions they've either taken and some of them were justified, like we saw with the woman about the funeral.
Right, right.
And other people are looking for justifications for the things that they want to do. And in this case, I think it's he wants to break up with her. And that's probably, in this case, the right thing to do because they're obviously at that level not compatible.
I think so, because he's using terminology that means he's prejudged. He used the word childish. He used the word kid. He used the word immature. Those
He's
are not
using all the
words
language of somebody who's frustrated and wants out.
that he thinks that she is not of the same mental level that he is, and for whatever reason. I don't think it's really about clothes, but there you go. We should vote. We should vote. If you think the operator, which is the professor asking her to put on fancier clothes, is the asshole, vote number 1. If you think the artist is the asshole for only wearing hoodies, no matter where they go or what they do, vote number 2. If you think they're both assholes, vote number 3. And as always, I'm not even going to say no asshole because it's impossible not to have an asshole in this situation, in my humble opinion. But if you do, you can add it with number 4, which is yay porn. But I know what I'm going to say. But I'm with you.
Yeah, I actually think he's an asshole because he shouldn't have brought this out into public. But hey, yeah. It is what it is.
I meant 3-4, and I put 2-4. I don't mean just her. I mean her and him. I think they both have issues. And
yeah, is that 3-4? Is it? No, what is it when they both have 1 and 2?
3. 3, because 1 is he, 2 is she, 3 is they, and 4 is yay porn. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, 3-4. Yeah, it has to be 3-4 then.
It's always 3-4. Hello, my Beavers unit. There's a rule in this chat. You're not allowed to type 69 without a phone number. Sorry, love. But, it's just not fair. It's just not fair. And I'm holding that line. No 69s without phone numbers. It's a rule. I don't have any rules, but they're fun rules. I do get a lot of Jenny's phone number. It's like, it's not an asshole if it's tainted. I agree, but that's not relevant to the conversation. I agree.
I would like to point out that the taint isn't the asshole.
It's not. It's the glorious area between two holes.
Yeah, that you can suntan.
To expose to get extreme vitamin D.
Yeah, because apparently some people think they're solar powered.
Solar powered taint. Oh my God, that's a
Elon Musk. Comment. You know he's working on it, don't you?
Somebody needs to make me a meme for that for Saturday. Solar powered things. Oh my God, I could just see the solar panel. Oh my God, I gotta stop. On that note, everyone, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for having actual, real, like, controversial discussion, and everybody stayed. Yeah. You're all grown-ups. Hallelujah. Thank God I found my people. A bunch of fucking grown-ups who are assholes just like us, and I love it. So thank you.
Can I just add something, Claire? You guys looking for some? What you guys want some fun on Saturday morning? You got your time in the US. The guy who's almost a doctor, almost got that PhD, and I are doing a quiz show on Schrodinger's bathtub, which is on my channel. So it'll be Saturday morning for you guys in the US, midday for UK, evening for Australia.
Cool.
We're gonna get the chat involved, so yeah, have a bit of fun. I don't know what the questions are. Matt's organized them all, so I think he's planning to make me look stupid, which probably won't be too hard, but it'll be a bit of fun.
It is. I think Puddle has been dropping your link for your channel that you can find it.
I got there eventually.
Yeah, and also it's in the link for the video down below. I always link the guest's channel if you guys want to check out Jen. She does great stuff. You can learn something, and she's funny at the same time. It's really hard to do, but she does it really, really well. She does. I'm never bored.
I think you do it better, but that's okay.
No, I don't actually. I get up early to attend you guys stuff for your channel and also Chris's, because I'm always entertained. I like to have my coffee with you guys. You really it's good stuff. So check it out, people. It's really good.
And we'll have to have you on again on Hereticals as well.
I don't know. Will I survive? Would I survive? I don't know. that I was surrounded. It was a woman's only panel. It was like for women,
it was
the
awesome.
female
If anyone
perspective.
hasn't seen that, go watch it because we had so much fun.
It was definitely, we did have a good time, and I do love those discussions. I love when we do that time of the month over with Cheshire too. I like to get in it, especially when I don't get judged for being funny or cursing while I'm doing it. So that's cool.
Oh
I'm not
yeah.
I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I could be smart, but
I find it so hard when I go on people's channels where I've got to watch what I say because I find it so hard to do that because I'm used to saying what's in my head. If a curse word is required, if I need to say fuck, I want to be able to say fuck.
When I first started my channel, a friend of mine gave me points every time I said it because she liked to hear me curse on YouTube. She thought it was funny. And now I say it so often, nobody gives me points anymore, Lacey, if you're still here. I get nothing because they're so used to it now because I curse all the time, no matter what. It's like they're not even shocked anymore. They're, oh, that damn bear's had a foul mouth. It's okay.
Some of the early videos on my channel, the pre-records, when I used to put them out, the chat used to count down how many times I said asshole.
Well, I
think I got up to 32 in a 10-minute video was pretty good, I thought.
Oh, where's this video? I gotta watch that. That's that good.
I'm not sure which one it was. It was.
What were you talking about that you could say asshole?
It was
must have been very controversial.
Allegedly Dave. I was doing a debunk of Allegedly Dave. For those who don't know who Allegedly Dave is, he's a flat earther who thinks drinking his own urine is good.
Oh, and you only said it 34 times?
Yeah, but it wasn't about that. That particular video was where he was trying to justify slavery in the Bible.
Oh, well, there you go.
Which is why I called him an asshole thief.
I can see it now. It's very clear, the picture now that I'm getting.
Oh, the guy is yeah. Oh, you got a phone number, by the way.
I got quite a few. Like they do. They give me Jenny, and they give me the ads. They give me like mattress companies and the 1-800.
But they don't give you They don't give you the beaver sex or the duck sex or the turtle sex. And I don't.
I know, but I get the phone numbers. But
and they haven't given us anything to rate for Saturday.
I have a theory on this. I think they don't slide into the DMs with this stuff because they think I might take them seriously. Like I don't know. Like maybe they think I might like attack them or something. Or
you're never going to get asked again by Claire to send her dick pics just so we can rate them. She will never ask for one again. If you send it after the Saturday, she will probably block you.
No, I'm that asshole that will post it on Twitter with the
rating.
No, I wouldn't. No, I'm too respectful. I just thought that was a funny joke. Honest people, I would never do that. I would never embarrass anybody that way.
I would. Send me dick pics. I will.
No, I would never. I could not ever embarrass anybody. I like even people that are really like rude to me. I try not to embarrass them. You have to like really push me hard. Over the edge,
Same. I'm hard to embarrass. I'm hard to offend as well.
I don't know. I'm a little hot-headed redhead. I get offended.
Oh no, I'm hot-headed. I'm a hot-head too, but I'm not. I don't get offended. I'll get. I don't hold grudges with people. I have never been that. I've never been that person. I will get upset about things, and I'm opinionated, and I will tell people what I think. But. I don't hold it against them.
I agree, John. If they're going to give me a phone number that's fake, they should at least give me Pizza Hut so I could order a pineapple pizza. For Christ's sake, right? I mean, come on, make it worth it, people. Like, be creative. Like, I'm creative for you.
1-800-8-TAINT. What?
They're going to be good. I'm going to love reading this chat tomorrow. It takes overnight to the chat to process so I can read it. I'm going to have a great time spitting my coffee out tomorrow morning with you people. This is going to be good. I do love that you have a good time. But my temper is so bad that I'll go on a 30-minute rant about something that I think somebody said to me or meant. And at the end of it, when I let them get a word edgewise and they're like, that's not what I said. I'm like, oh, my bad. Sorry. It's kind of hard to take that stuff back. I'm a bit reactionary sometimes, but I own it. Like I'm really working on it, but it's not easy. It's like in my blood. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I've done that. I've done the same thing, Clay. You know, you and I are like sisters from another mother.
Oh,
And
we could be. That could be dangerous
we
too.
could be, we could. But you know, I'm
Don't
the
say
same.
that. Chris might still be in the chat, and if he hears you, I'll never get back on heretical.
Oh yeah, you will.
Yeah,
you will. I make sure of it.
No, they are fun. They are fun. They were a good group of guys. I liked it. It's like they're very fun on Twitter too. You guys are cracking me up. But on that, I'm going to end it, people. It's almost 8 o'clock. We really went 2 hours. This is the longest AITA we have ever had, Jen.
Is it? Oh wow.
Yes, it is. And
I'm
most
sorry.
people stayed, and you nor I pissed anybody off to the point that they left. So this is a good thing. This is a good
amazing.
thing. So that's a point. I thank you all for staying and hanging out and having good humor, because like I say, if for Saturday, don't wear your clothes, but everywhere I am, don't forget to bring your humor, because you're not going to want to be there without it. It just gets too great. You got to bring your humor.
And make sure your skin's pretty thick, because we're not afraid to take pot shots.
No. Bring your humor, and life's too short without it, really. That's my problem on Twitter and YouTube. Life's too short, and people don't have a sense of humor. But on that note, I'm going to put the outro in, and you can join everybody in chat for a few minutes and say hello or whatever you would like to do. But I hope you come back again on Saturday or one of these, or if you want to have that other discussion.
I'll be back. I'll drop in on Saturday at some for a while.
And if you think
I'm not missing the rating the penis.
I don't tell you, we don't have any. It may be a bust. Like, I got a better shot of growing one of my own.
Hang on, we haven't got. So are we rating busts now? Are we?
Well, at least then I would have one of my own I could present for, at least I'd have one, but I have a better chance of growing one than getting a dick pic in my DMs before Saturday. Nobody wants to get rated, and I'm just telling you, make it up.
Maybe it's just something about the men in the chat that they don't think they're good enough to be rated.
No, but they'd all get 10 marks. I love these guys in the chat. These are my people. They are so respectful and
I'm just trying to prod them a bit.
So here, let me just throw it out there. So you don't have to send your dick pic. Send somebody else's. Send somebody else's.
You find the weirdest curvy one that almost points back at itself. Send it, because we can rate it.
You could send a cartoon. You could send whatever you want, people. Like, it doesn't have to be yours. You don't have to own it. You've never had to touch it. I don't care.
It doesn't even have to be human.
Right. Just, I did get one. Wait, student. Yes, you did send me one. I remember I did. It was very interesting. And if that's the only one I have, at least I have that one to rate, because that was a pretty good one to put up there. But like I'm saying, it doesn't have to be. I'm not asking you guys to actually expose yourselves for me. I'm not an idiot. I wouldn't do that. I just want to make a stream on something funny, and it came up, and now we're committed, and trying to make it work. But if it don't, it don't. So we'll see that. On that note, I'm putting the outro on, Jen, and I will see you somewhere soon.
Somewhere soon.
Somewhere soon. Thank you.
I'm waving again. Bye, everyone.
They can't see you, Jen. It's fine.
I know they can't. I'm used to the people seeing me.
Okay. I'll bear out. I'll see you guys in the chat.
Bye.
Bye.